Welcome to the Lean Solutions Podcast. This is the podcast that adds value to leaders by helping you improve performance using process improvement solutions with bottom line results. My name is Patrick Adams, and this season I'll be joined by three other amazing hosts, including Catherine McDonald from Ireland, Andy Ulrich from Australia, and Shayne Daughenbaugh from the United States. Join us as we bring you guests and experiences of lean practitioners from all over the world. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Lean Solutions Podcast. Today is a special day. It is going to be just Shayne and I having a conversation about Shayne's upcoming visit to the state of Michigan. He's going to be coming to the Lakeshore for the Lean Solutions Summit coming up September 24th, 25th, and 26th. And I'm interested to hear what he's going to speak on and kind of talk through that a little bit. I know we're super early in the process, so maybe today our listeners can listen into us kind of, putting things together and having some discussions about what that might look like. But specifically, Shayne is going to be talking about lean on the administrative side of things with a little bit of a spin, or maybe it's case studies, examples from his time with the state of Nebraska. So it's going to be lean on the administrative side, specifically in the government, in the state government. So I'm excited to dive into this and talk a little bit more about what that might look like. Shayne, how you feeling?
I am also very excited about this. The more that I'm putting this together, I'm finding that I have way more information than I have time. So trying to hone this down to just some great nuggets for those that attend. We're very excited to be a part of this. So yeah, I mean, what I want to do today is just kind of wet your whistle just a little bit on at least my topic. I know there's a truck ton of other topics, other speakers and presenters that I'm very honored to be a part of and be with. But if you have some interest, and that's what I really appreciate about this one, Patrick, where you're giving me opportunity to kind of the other side, not the non-manufacturing side. We have a lot of lean in the manufacturing industry, but also there's other industries, right? There's other places for lean Six Sigma, just continuous improvement. So I'm gonna be sharing some of my stuff. So let me give you a statistic to start with and kind of wet your whistle on this one. Okay, so there is, according to McKinsey, a McKinsey study in 2023, so just last year, there is 450 billion with a B, $billion in potential savings at the state and local level when it comes to government. And that's across the United States, of course, but $450 billion in potential. There are literally thousands and thousands of potential hours to be saved.
Wow.
Just that's that amazing. In itself right there just says, oh man, what that tells me is not, man, our states are doing a crummy job, because hey, I still got roads out there. I still got a police department and fire department. I'm not bagging on the state and local entities. I think they're doing a great job. But what it says to me is there's so much potential that lean can help kind of evolve and grow into, and really take our the administration and the services that are provided, take them to the next level.
So true.
For all of us.
Yeah, so, and I mean, obviously all of us know that lean, is very it's been talked about, it's been applied in the manufacturing space, for a long time. Many people know when they hear lean, they immediately think of, the Toyota production system, automotive industry, manufacturing. But not too many people know that there are state and local governments that are working on process improvement initiatives continuously and having some really, really good results that are then transferred to taxpayer savings, right? Taxes are reduced then because some of those wasted dollars are taken care of. So there's a lot of opportunity where lean principles, tools, techniques can be applied on the administrative side, specifically in the government. But I want to speak to today, I want everyone to hear that you don't have to be in the government for the things that Shayne's going to talk about on this episode and at the Lean Solutions Summit to attend his breakout session, because in the administrative space, the tools and the techniques work very effectively, whether you are working in a accounting firm, or whether you're working in at a car lot in an office setting. The tools and the techniques are applicable. So that's what I love about this.
Yes.
I love the fact that you're going to share some experiences, maybe some case studies or things, because that's how I learn. That's where I get to resonate. So I'm
Yeah.
excited your breakout.
And I would also say, and you started talking about, all the different places that lean fits and works. I was just at my local brewery just down the street, and talking with the head brewmaster about some of the things that, he took me for a tour, behind the curtain, and I got to see all the really cool, all the stainless steel and all the flashy stuff where the magic happens. And I was talking as he was describing some of his processes, it's like, man, that really sounds like continuous improvement. That sounds like lean. And then he just starts labeling. He just starts labeling. Yeah, this is what we do here, to reduce inefficiencies here, and we bring it over here. And and I was blown away that, I mean, the lingo has changed just a little bit, but
Sure.
man, it's even in the can of beer that you may be pulling out of the fridge, or the can of soda, whatever it might be. There are some great efficiencies that can happen just in how we do processes.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
In some of the challenges, let's continue to wet the whistle here. Some of the challenges that I faced at working in the state of Nebraska, in the particular case study that I'm thinking about, that's across the board. These challenges go all over the place, and maybe you can even think of examples of resistance to change. We have entrenched processes. There's ways that we have done things for years and years and years. And some people that, I know at the state of Nebraska, we had people that were there 20, 30, 40. One person that was there that retired while I was still at the state of Nebraska had been there for over 70 years.
Oh my
I think he
gosh.
started when he was 5. I have no idea
Right.
how in the world he did that long. But to the point of, this resistance to change. I don't know, Patrick, if you've had much experience, I'm sure you have, with other, administrative work, where there is just an entrenched process that, hey, this is the way we've done it, so why would we change it?
Oh yeah.
Have you? I'm sure you have. Any specific examples that you can think of that were like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, the one big one that always comes to mind for me when I think about administrative space was a company that I worked with where, and I think I've talked about this before on the podcast, so some of you may have heard this story, but there was an office area with a bunch of cubicles, and they had a centralized copier and printer area that everyone would use, and the individuals that were in this particular area, they were printing for whatever, I don't remember all the details of it. This was quite a many. It was many years ago.
Yes.
But they were printing, multiple times in an hour, and getting up out of their chairs and walking over to the printers, and then grabbing their stuff and coming back and sitting down. And I remember having conversation with them, and they were like, oh my gosh, my body, get up, sit down all day long. And, as I'm watching this happen, and I'm seeing the amount of time that they're spending walking between the areas, obviously that's, they're not doing value add work when they're up walking, right? So we did a time study and put pedometers on everybody. And again, I don't remember all the details of it, but what we came out of that with was there were, I don't remember the number, but like two individuals fully burdened that could have been paid for, their salaries could have been paid for in place of all the walking that was happening. And so what we ended up doing was buying desktop printers at that time for every individual, so they could just print right there at their desk. And it was much better on their bodies. Obviously, they still were able to get up on breaks and stretch or do the things that they needed to do, but it wasn't like a mandatory, like 4 or 5 times an hour I'm having to get up and walk over to get stuff. So that's just one that comes to mind. I don't know. There's tons of other examples I'm sure out there, but
yeah, people, yeah, sometimes when we have these entrenched processes, just we don't even think about it. It's the process we were given. Again,
right.
it's not bad people. There's just a bad process.
Right.
And that's one of the things that I had to make sure I instilled in my team, in the case study I'm going to be talking about is something about that, not don't blame the people, blame the process. Let's attack the process, these entrenched processes. So there's resistance, resource constraints. I think we can find that just about anywhere where you just don't have enough time, money, or people to do all the tasks that you have. And a business, which government is a business, you're always looking for how can we better meet the needs of our customers. So we'll grab more things to do. Oh, maybe we can, we're serving this. Let's also give them this to go with it. Well, who's going to do that? Because we're already kind of maxed out.
Right.
So and that's where the thousands and thousands of hours that can be saved. This isn't taking work away. This is making it so that you can do better work and faster work.
So true.
Faster, or what is it? Easier, better, faster, cheaper.
Got it.
So having all of those, yeah.
Yeah, it also made me think of another example that I heard in the past with state government around the Department of Motor Vehicles. And in this example was one that, if you know me, you know that I love Universal Studios in Florida. It's my most favorite place to go in the world. If I could live next door and go there every day, I would. I love it there. And also I love their processes because you don't have to wait in line there. You check in on your app, if you're at the water park, you got the wristwatch that basically you can scan yourself into line, and they're all virtual lines. And so you can go hang out, have fun, and then you get buzzed when it's time for you, when you're in line, when you're up in the front of the line. Just crazy, amazing processes to thinking about the customer and what's important to the customer. The customers don't want to stand in line when they're at Universal Studios. They want to go enjoy the experience and do things. Well, so now flip back to the Department of Motor Vehicles here in Michigan. I'm sure many other states have done this, but they've adopted a similar process with an app and a web page where you basically schedule yourself into a virtual line. You schedule an appointment for yourself, and now I'm not going to stand at the DMV for 60, 70, 90 minutes waiting for my number to be called, which is the way it has always been, right? I'm going to show up at the time, on my phone that tells me I'm up in line. I'm going to show up when I need to. And now my time is valued versus, being wasted sitting in line. So anyways, that was another example that you mind.
I love that. I love that because wasted hours doesn't just have to be the employees or the staff that are doing it. Wasted hours could also be, the customers, or in this case,
exactly.
The citizens. Definitely.
Right.
So some of the other challenges that we had to go through, just real quick, undocumented processes. We all have our ways of doing it, especially when people have been there a long time. Hey, I have a way of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I do it. But if it's not documented, then, if I'm out that day and Patrick has to pick up my work, maybe he watched me enough to be able to do it, but do we have something that's going to help him immediately? Or let's say I win the lottery and I decide, you know what, I don't want to work anymore. Right. Who's going to do my work? With all the people that are retiring in this large wave of retirements that are going to be coming, that have already actually started, that's a huge brain loss, just
so much knowledge lost. Yeah.
So much knowledge. Yeah.
The learning curve for new people coming in, if there are not established standards, is just
right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's huge. So the other ones, just to highlight real quick here, and then we can end my section. Just trying to wet your whistle on what we were able to tackle. The silo and the fragmentation of people that they're working on the same team, but they're so fragmented, and all they have blinders on is just their own stuff. But being able to, as making it visual, getting the right people at the right table, making it visual goes, oh, so you do this? Well, shoot, I do that over here too. Why are we both doing this?
Right.
Stuff like that it was mind-blowing for the people that were working. It was so much fun to do. Or another one here, we certainly don't lack data. We lack the right data.
Yeah.
Like there's so much data out there, and there's so many dashboards and whatnot that are just pulling mounds and mounds of information, but we have no way to make sense of it. And it might not even be the right data. So lack of the right data and performance metrics. Like,
Mm.
we'll just figure it out. We're just going to do it anyways. But we don't have those performance metrics to know, well, are we going to be able to accomplish what the goal is? Do we even have goals that are set? Sometimes it's easy just to keep moving forward with what you're doing without thinking about, okay, what are our goals for this? What's the point of this? Is it just, we're ad nauseum, just forever and ever, infinity and beyond, there will just do this, or there are some specific goals. So those are just some of the challenges that we were able to overcome, and get some fantastic results that I'm very excited to share with at the breakout session, to share with all the people there.
Hey everyone, I am sorry to interrupt this episode of the Lean Solutions podcast, but I wanted to take a moment to introduce you to our company, Lean Solutions. We exist to empower and equip people for positive change. We do this through our 3 pillars, which include training and development, coaching and consulting, and talent solutions. Whether you have specific areas for improvement, or you're not really sure where to start, we can build tailored solutions and provide resources to meet your needs. Send us an email at office@findleansolutions.com to begin your journey towards transformation. Now, back to the show. There's a ton of value there. And it's going to be, there's a ton of value that you're bringing, along with real life examples of what you've been able to do in the administrative space for the state of Nebraska. And we've also adjusted things a little bit. And this part of this came from your wife and a few other volunteers and different people that at the summit this last year, who gave some suggestions, because again, we're always looking to improve, right? Even at the summit, we had our Obeya up. We were collecting information live, real-time information on how we can improve the summit for the following year. Well, one of those things that came out of that was that people were looking for shorter, almost like TED Talk style breakouts. And so we're going to be experimenting in continuous improvement lean style. We're going to be experimenting with these shorter TED Talk style breakouts. And so this is the one that you're going to be doing. And I'm excited to see how what we're suggesting to the speakers is, have a big idea, have a couple points that you want to bring to the learners. And it's going to be like, identify the problem, what was the solution, and then how can it actually be applied to those people that are sitting in the room, because we want everyone at the summit to walk away knowing how they can apply what they learned, right away, directly to the work.
Yes. Yeah, this is not theoretical. I am not about the theory as much as I'm more about the application. Let's just say that. Than the theory. So
I'm excited. It's going to be great for sure. The other thing, Shayne, that you're doing as part of the summit is you're going to be teaching a Lean Six Sigma Yellow Belt class, right? On the first day. So we have a couple tours, but then also people can choose to do the Lean Six Sigma Yellow Belt class. This was another suggestion that came out of the Obeya. We had individuals that had come to the summit and were very early on their lean journey. Some of them even were hearing about lean for the very first time while they're at the summit this past year. So the suggestion was, can we offer some kind of almost like a lean boot camp, a lean basics class that where people can learn the principles, learn the tools, the techniques, a little bit of background, a little bit of history, and kind of level themselves with everyone else coming into the summit, so that as the speakers are using terms like Gemba, 5S, or whatever it might be, they understand the context behind that stuff, right? Yes. So tell us, what do you have planned for us?
So for that, I'm just really, really excited, because I think the fundamentals and the principles behind it are just going to be huge, in regard to understanding how all the rest of the stuff that we talk about, like, that's some of the assumptions that are made when we have the breakout sessions and some of the other, the really technical side of things that we have out there. There are assumptions made that you understand what the basic lean principles are, what some of the foundational stuff, for lean and Lean Six Sigma. So I'm very excited about doing that, and also making this is going to be the first Yellow Belt class that I'll be able to teach in person for Lean Solutions. Most of the Yellow Belt classes I teach, all of them and the Green Belts that I've been teaching have been virtual. So I'm very excited to be able to use some hands-on activities,
Yes.
get people involved so that we're learning not just the theory, but again, how to apply it. What does it look like? Maybe there's going to be Play-Doh involved. I don't know. There might be some marshmallows. We'll see.
Yes.
There's all kinds of stuff. I'm looking
We got
at
all
making
kinds
this
of good
very high energy. What's
Yeah.
that? Go ahead.
I was just saying the ball toss for PDCA. I mean, we have
Yes.
tons of great activities that are embedded in the training, and our Lean Six Sigma Yellow Belt certification is very heavy lean. There's a little bit of history and principles that are kind of identified on the Six Sigma side of things, but it's very much a lean basics. Where you're getting history. We talk about the 8 wastes, right? We add on that 8th waste, but we do use the toast video from Bruce Hamilton, my favorite. We'll talk about value add, non-value add work. We'll talk about process mapping and even touch on value stream mapping just a little bit. But PDCA, Kaizen, we get into voice
of the customer.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff. So it's a great class. There will be a lot of hands-on activities, like you mentioned, and it's just a great way for those that are coming to the summit that want to bring along some people that they're like, well, they don't know lean. This is the beginning of our journey. Should they come? Should they not come? Yes, bring them. Sign them up for the Yellow Belt class, and then while the Yellow Belt class is going on, we also have 2 other tours that are going on. So, those that are intermediate or advanced level can go to the tours while the beginners stay back and hit the Yellow Belt class on the September 24th.
Right. Yes. Yes.
And each person will come out of that with a industry accepted Lean Six Sigma Yellow Belt certification from Lean Solutions. So that'll be great. But let me tell you about the tours. Shayne. So unfortunately,
the ones I'm not going to be able to make it to.
Well, yes, that's what I was going to say. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to attend the tours, but we have 2 different tours that are going on. One of them, the participants will be getting onto a charter bus and they'll be heading to the other side of the state, actually. A couple-hour drive, but there's some really great activities and some reflection time that's built into that. But we're going to be heading to Menlo Innovations, which is one of my favorite places to tour. I've posted videos and pictures about Menlo in the past with Rich Sheridan. He does an amazing job. He's just, the whole company in general is just really amazing to see. And you'll be able to meet the Menlonians, they call themselves. It's a ton of really great visual management, lots of really good, culture-wise, some really good things to see there. And then lunch, and then Zingerman's is the other place that particular tour will visit. So they get both Menlo Innovations and Zingerman's mail order, which Zingerman's mail order is crazy awesome. It's a working warehouse. They have lean principles in action. You'll walk the entire mail order e-commerce order fulfillment warehouse from receiving all the way to shipping. And you're going to spend time with either Dr. Jeffrey Leiker or Mike Rother, who will both be on site in person to answer questions and have some discussions with people. So that's going to be a really cool tour. I'm sure that one will fill up really fast. The second tour will be staying on the lake shore, and then those individuals will be going to 2 places on the lake shore here in West Michigan. One of them is Dematic Corporation. So Dematic is in downtown Grand Rapids, so it's not too far away, but basically it's a cutting edge automation warehouse organization, and they have their state-of-the-art automation room. I forget what they call it, but it's like just it's a display of all their crazy awesome automation that they use in warehouse applications. And then they also have an automated guided vehicles AGV facility that's fairly new within the last few years. So they have some really great visual management, nice Obeya setup, and they're doing some really good stuff there. So that's a part of the tour. And then the other place is Coastal Automotive. Also an amazing place to go see. They're using high-performing work teams. They also have some good visual management in place, and they put in a really, really nice Kanban system. And the way that the Kanban system has transformed their business is pretty cool to see and hear about as they tell the story of how it used to be versus what it's like today. So some pretty cool stuff. The tours are a lot of collaboration, a lot of learning that's going to happen on those. So I'm excited for that as well. And that's all on September 24th, which is the first day of the 3-day summit. So looking forward.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's just getting better and better. Like this summit, I'm very, very excited.
Yes.
Very excited about what we got.
Lots of stuff to talk about for sure, but I'm excited for you to come back and visit with us and be able to do a little bit more than last year you came and helped out with this summit, but this year you're actually going to be speaking and teaching. So, I mean, you can't get better than that
man, it's a great opportunity. Yeah, it's a great opportunity. So,
well, I'm looking forward to it, Shayne. I'm looking forward to seeing you again in person and catching up. And looking forward.
So tell our audience, for those that may not know, like where can they sign up for the summit? Where can they find more information? Are we going to have them in the show notes, or what do we got?
Yeah, good question. So you can go to our website. It's you can go to the actual summit website is leansolutionssummit.com. And that we'll put that in the show notes. Also, you can go right to our company page, findleansolutions.com, and you can click top right corner. It says the summit. You can click on that to get to the page, but leansolutionssummit.com will bring you to the page where you can get all the information and register, but we'll put that in the show notes as well. Yeah, I mean, that's probably the best place to go, but obviously you can reach out to us if anybody has any questions or anything like that. We got lots of good rates right now. There's a super low student rate for any higher ed organizations. There is early bird, I think, goes through, I don't know if by the time this episode drops, it might already be done and over with, but there is an early bird price out there right now. So, but we'll have lots of specials going on between now and September. So yeah.
Excellent. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, Shayne, it's been great to catch up. I'm looking forward to your TED Talk style presentation. It's going to be pretty amazing. Looking forward to hearing about that and hearing some of those examples, and just appreciate your willingness to come and share some of your amazing insights with us.
I'm going to be honest. I'm pretty geeked just about being able to see Andy. Like,
oh yeah, Andy Ulrich will be in from Australia, so he's
flying all the way from the other side of the world.
Yeah. I'm excited for Andy to be here too. So some great keynotes as well. So it's going to be pretty amazing. Yeah. Well, all right, Shayne, let's close up here. Again, it was great to see you, and just appreciate you, and looking forward to seeing you in September.
Indeed. Thank you, sir.
All right, take care. Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of the Lean Solutions Podcast. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe. This way you'll get updates as new episodes become available. If you feel so inclined, please give us a review. Thank you so much.